So the grid for the Triumph Triple Challenge subdued after that minute's silence, but now it's all action in the first of the races. Scott Rowbottom, Lance Carey, Mark Kringle and Rhys Rothwell on that front row, and the whole field tearing up through Coppice and Charlie's, now down the long drag of Park Straight, way down the dip and up through Park. Here they come into Chris Curve, and Rhys Rothwell there tucked in right behind Mark Kringle. Mark, rider over for the season from the Isle of Man, and been a front runner in most of the races as well, and being chased hard now as they go down through the gooseneck by Scott Rowbottom. There we see Ralph Laturco back in 9th place, I think, as he runs down through Mansfield. But Scott Rowbottom, we can see him there, number 14 in 3rd place. He's got the blue wheels, under pressure from number 10, Lance Carey. Scott Rowbottom, something of a local lad. He comes from not far away. And this, very definitely, a circuit he absolutely loves. So we'll see what his progress is like from there. There we see Tom Fisher running through Hall Bends just ahead of Ralph Laturco. Ralph in those bright yellow leathers. And the leaders come down to complete the lap there. Rhys Rothwell chasing hard after Mark Kringle, and then Lance Carey getting up alongside Scott Rowbottom and Toby Glenn, the other side of him as well. Toby having a good run here at Cadwell Park. The two leaders just chasing. Look at that again, side by side, running down Park Straight. They'll sort themselves out in a minute, I'm sure. Mark Kringle under pressure from Rhys Rothwell. Look at this. Just Scott Rowbottom squeezing there. Oh my goodness, he's just overdone that, and he runs wide and onto the grass. Oh, Scott, he'll be absolutely furious, but at least he stayed on board. There are those that simply dump it on the green sward up there, but Scott maintaining his bike under par, and they run down through Mansfield. Well, he's going to lose absolutely heaps of positions there. And now there we see the two leaders, and Lance Carey into 3rd. Josh Wainwright has got just ahead of Toby Glenn, and then we see Mark Cheetham tucked in behind with Ralph Laturco. That's the battle for the lead of the TDG Cup for the over 25s. Leaders through, then Lance Carey and Josh Wainwright. He's absolutely flying. Oh, is he going to have a bit? I thought he was going to have a go down the inside of the hairpin, but thought better of it. Mark Kringle to the line, Rhys Rothwell chasing hard, then Lance Carey, then Josh still there and still on board. Toby Glenn, the good 5th place, then Mark Cheetham and Ralph Laturco. Ralph running around the outside of Mark Cheetham, and Ralph Laturco goes up into the lead of the TGG Cup runners. Up the hill they come, and Rhys Rothwell this time outbreaks Mark Kringle. Rothwell up into the lead. Lovely race between the two of them, and it's not far back to the pack. And then we see chasing hard is Ricky Chadwick. Ricky, who carries the number 1 this year, courtesy of winning the TDG Cup last season. And meanwhile up the front, Rhys Rothwell. Oh, go on, wind it on, mate, ahead of Mark Kringle. And then Josh Wainwright, he's got ahead of Lance Carey finally. Lance will be hard back at it, but Josh Wainwright having a lovely ride up into 3rd. And he's really on the gas there, and he's reducing the gap between himself and the leaders immediately. We see Ralph Laturco still leading TGG Cup runner, and there Andy Marriott just on the back of that group. But well, let's look at the gap there. Josh Wainwright, we can see as the leaders, Rhys Rothwell and Mark Kringle, cross the line. Lance Carey, look, he's lost touch with Josh Wainwright. Josh absolutely flying in that 3rd place. Well, there's enough race left. He could catch the leaders yet. Look at him as they come up the hill. I'll tell you what, Lance Carey's come with him as well. This is a great scrap at the front. Still Rothwell from Kringle. That's the leading 4. There we can see Jack Sim chasing hard in the TDG Cup, and there's Lance Carey chasing the 3 leaders hard as they run down towards Mansfield. And there we see Mark Kringle. He's just nicked by inside and takes the lead from Reese Rothwell, and Josh Wainwright's right on the case as well as they come into the bottom of the mountain. Lance Carey is still in with a shout. Anything can happen up the front, and once again the front wheels pour in the air. And look at Josh Wainwright, he's up into second. He does reach there over the top of the mountain. Josh Wainwright, a fantastic race from him, and hard on the brakes they go down through the hairpin and into all bends. Now then, a new chase at the front. It's Mark Kringle across the line. Josh Wainwright absolutely hammering along, and look at Lance Carey. He fancies a piece of this as well, but he just can't make that count. And there we see Ricky Chadwick chasing hard after Ben Cater and Paul Hughes. They too down into that hairpin as Mark Kringle under extreme pressure from Josh Wainwright. He'll know Josh is there by now. And look at the gap, the two of them just eking out over the rest. There we can still see Ralph Laturco leading the TDG Cup runners. Mark Cheetham is in there with them. Still, really all about this battle between the two at the front. Mark Kringle and Josh Wainwright, and Josh giving it absolute beans there up over the mountain and into all bends. Look how the two of them have dragged themselves away from the chasing battle behind. That's Lance Carey, of course, and Reese Rothwell. And there we see Toby Glenn, Toby with the TTG Cup battlers behind him. Ralph Laturco leading those as the outright race leaders and Michelin Young Gun leaders cross the line to start their final lap here at Cadwell Park. Up the hill they run from Coppice, and there we see the last lap flag, the yellow with the black cross on it. And there we see a slow machine, that's Paul Marks. But here come the flying ones there at the front. It is Mark Kringle and Josh Wainwright. Josh putting all sorts of pressure on Mark. And there we see Toby Glenn ahead of this battle of the TTG Cup and running wide there. Mark Cheetham, who was right on the rear tyre of Ralph Laturco, and a big wobble there from Adam Parsons. Oh, and he's got problems. Tim Venables and David Jones just go past. I think that's oh, and look at that, the leader. That's Mark Kringle, and he dumps it on his own at the exit of the chicane. Josh Wainwright moves into the lead ahead of Lance Carey and Scott Rowbottom, who's had a magnificent ride recovering from that grassy moment earlier in the race. He's got up ahead of Reese Rothwell. Well, all action here towards the end of the first of these Triple Challenge races. And what else can happen? A couple of corners to go as the leader comes down from Barn, Josh Wainwright. Well, this has been a wonderful storming ride from Josh. He takes the win. And Lance Carey eventually second. And what a ride from Scott Rowbottom, having chucked it all away at the beginning, recovers to finish third. And Ralph Laturco takes the TDG Cup win. Well, there we see, oh, look at that, just tucking it under there. Mark Kringle with around half a lap to go, just bidding it. And Josh Wainwright just trying to keep it all together. He can't believe his luck.